Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am doing my favorite video a little bit different this month because I really did a lot of repeat products when it came to doing my makeup this month. So I thought I would just do my March face of the month. This is basically what I did 75 to 80% of the time during the month of March. I figured I would get ready, show you what I've been using, why I use it. I really like this kind of pastel look for the upcoming spring season. I talk about a couple of fragrances at the end. I didn't have a ton of other favorites other than my skincare is the Calisum line that I talked about in my last video, even though I've been using them for probably about 7 weeks now, but definitely a favorite skincare wise in the month of March. So I will put a card up for that video if you want to go check it out if you haven't already. But the rest is makeup and a couple of fragrance mentions at the end. So let's go ahead and jump into this look. I have already put my corrector on, my Dermatology Luminous Eye Corrector, SPF 41. It's always linked down in the description box. And I really rotated mostly through 2 SPFs this month. One is the Ultraviolet Supreme Screen Hydrating Facial Sunscreen, which I probably have like 2 more uses out of. I love ultraviolet. The matte one is probably my favorite, which I will open after I get done with this, but I will be repurchasing this one. It is so good. This whole entire line is phenomenal. This is technically a chemical sunscreen, but it uses all filters that we do not have in the US. It does not burn my face. It offers the ultimate protection. I love it so much. And then the Numbuzzin #1. I mean, it's my favorite K-Beauty sunscreen. It's what I have on today. And this is probably my 4th tube. I always have one of these in rotation. I was reaching for the Chanel Le Beige Water Fresh Tint so much this month. I don't know why. I mean, it's a great product. I love it. I have other products like it. In fact, I recently did a video where I compared this to the new CoverGirl one that everybody says is a dupe, as well as my Jane Iredale Hydra Pure, which I love and is kind of the same concept. But I've just been really reaching for this one. So I take a couple pumps of this. This is in medium, and I always apply this with my fingers. I like to kind of break up the pigment beads in my hand and apply it like I would a moisturizer. This is a very sheer coverage product. It is also very hydrating. As you can see, I'm definitely more dewy than when I first started and only had my SPF on. But there's something about once this settles in to the skin, same with the, the Jane and the CoverGirl, where it almost produces a little bit more coverage. My redness seems to die down a little bit, or at least be covered a little bit more. I don't know what it does, but it just gives this beautiful finish and look to the skin. Because it is sheer to light coverage, I oftentimes top it with a powder foundation, which is what I have been doing lately. And when I do that, I do my concealer first. The Sicily Phytocerans Eclat Eye Concealer, I mean, really, 75% of the month I use this. This is in the shade number 2. Yes, this is a very expensive concealer. Yes, it does last a long time. It is 0.6 ounces, which is kind of twice the amount that you get in normal concealers. You don't need a lot. This is a concealer that I really don't even need a corrector under, especially on no makeup days. If I just want to hide my circles a little bit, make me look a little bit more awake. This is a great one to use on its own. But it wears really well. It's definitely my top, probably 3 concealers, because it absolutely does not cake on me or crease or do anything like that. The color, again, is perfect for me. Has a little bit of that peachiness to it, so it works great for dark under eyes. I'm gonna set it with my Ilia powder real quick, and then we'll move on to the powder foundation. You probably won't be surprised with the powder foundation, and this goes to show you that I am not all about only using new products. I have a couple of new products that I got this month, but it's been a while since I actually purchased makeup. I'm kind of saving that all for the Sephora sale coming up, which I will have a video on Friday. But when I find something that I love, I use it. I really use it, and I go back to using it. And the Jane Iredale Pure Pressed is definitely something I love. I just purchased my backup because I hit pan on this. This is in Golden Glow, and I like using the handy brush, the Jane Iredale handy brush. to apply it. And when I apply it, I always go in a downward motion. That is how they intend for it to be applied. And then I kind of go to the side on my forehead. This is beautiful. It's on its own. I really like it with the Chanel. And then if I feel like there's any areas that need more coverage, I will take more and I'll just kind of stick it in. I have a whole video on this product and how I use it. It is hands down my favorite powder foundation, but it's also one of my favorite foundations in general. For bronzer, I've been using my MAC Studio Fix pretty much all month. I think there was a couple times where I may have pulled out my Pat McGrath, but this is the powder foundation and it is in the shade NC45. And I just love how this works as a bronzer. Yes, I get a tad bit more coverage. This is not, I mean, I don't use this for the coverage, but it's just the nature of the product since it's technically a powder foundation. And I like to just stipple my bronzer into my skin where I want it. This is an old BH Cosmetics blush brush. Is there even a BH Cosmetics anymore? I don't even know. But this was part of a set and it just says number 4. But I love it for bronzer when I am using one that I prefer to stipple in. Blush. This is really the only product of this face that I changed up daily depending on what my eye look was going to be. The palette that I'm going to be using today has some peaches and pinks and cool tones, so it really just depended on what I chose to do. Today, I'm going to use my Make Beauty Skin Mimetic Micro Suede Blush in Mystic Mauve because I'm doing a little bit more of like a purple look on the eyes. And this is a really pretty purpley pink color, hence the name Mauve. Let's please pay attention to this next product because it is a favorite of my faves this month and it is new. Might now be my favorite cream highlight. Oh, I love so many cream highlights, but I have not, since I have gotten this, I have not used another highlight. This is actually an eye tint from the brand Gressa, which is now being sold on Skin Truth. And they are kind of like a skincare makeup brand. They sell both skincare and makeup. And they kind of market their makeup as being skincare infused. This is the eye tint in Aureo, A-U-R-E-O. And it's just this, you know, pretty like champagne color eye tint. And I bought it specifically to use as an eye tint. I have used it as an eye tint. It's very pretty. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to use this as a highlight one day and see how it works. Yeah, and then I was hooked. So I just put a little bit on these 2 fingers and tap it into the skin. This is definitely a highlight that's going to finish more like a powder. So it is not going to be like your Westman Atelier or my Merit where it kind of stays tacky. This one does not. Nothing sticks to it. There's just something about the finish of this. I think if you go back and look at my last like 3 or 4 videos, this is what I'm wearing in them. I love it. It's nice and small. I have 2 trips in April and this is what I will be taking, all I will be taking for my highlight, not only because I love it, but because it's small and easy to pack when traveling. So that is kind of the face of the month. And again, really the only thing that's changed for the majority of the month is my blush color. I went between 2 palettes this month. I either used my Sigma Corta Rosa palette, which a very pretty cool toned, pinky, rosy themed palette. This actual shade Corta Rosa is my favorite and I use this a lot even if I'm not using the rest of the palette in my crease. But you can also get, you know, a couple of warmer looks out of this. I just love this palette. And if you are new to my channel, the Sigma eyeshadows are some of my very favorite formulations as far as powder eyeshadows go, because nothing in my collection lasts as long on my eyes and stays truer to color all day than the Sigma eyeshadows. But then I was also sent this new palette from Alter Ego, and I've talked about Alter Ego quite a bit on my channel because I really love their formulations too, and they offer these palettes at such a great affordable price. This is $22, and I think I have a discount code with them. I'll check and put it down below if I do, but this is the Dream Gaze palette. And I think this was meant to kind of mimic the Natasha Denona pastel palette, which I never had any interest in getting because I just knew that I wasn't gonna wear those colors enough to warrant paying Natasha Denona prices. However, $22 is much better, and I'm actually wearing these colors way more than I thought I would when I first saw the Natasha Denona palette. I love this peach right here, Lantern. Oh, I love that color so much. This white color right here is actually a duochrome, and I don't know if it's gonna come across, but it definitely picks up pink and white and peach. Lots of options, but I am going to use some of these purple colors, purpley pink colors. And I'm gonna start out with this shade Cozy right here, but I'm going to use my Refer number 33 brush, which is this kind of very large eyeshadow concealer, whatever you wanna use it for, brush. And I'm gonna put this all over my lid and up into the crease, which is why I love this brush, because you don't need to work very hard to accomplish that because it's so large. Another thing with pastel shadows that I found in the past is that a lot of times I don't get good payoff with them. They're just so light that I feel like they don't show up on the lid. That's not the case with these at all. Hopefully it's coming across on camera, but this definitely shows up. And I love this color. Very, very springtime. And honestly, I'd be fine leaving it just like this. I love that you have so many options to do a wash of pastel on your lid. I haven't used these blues yet, but this one called Bliss, this like aquamarine. Oh yeah, that's gonna be pretty doing what I'm doing today. I'm gonna go in with Wish right below that shade I just used with a Refer number 28, which is smaller and more dense. And this is a little bit more of a pink shade. And I'm gonna just kind of top a little bit of that on the lid. I don't want that purple to go away. I really want that to be kind of the star of the show. But this gives a little dimension on the inner part, not inner part, but middle part of your lid, while also giving a little bit of shine. And then I'm gonna take my Refer number 3, which is a pencil brush, and go into Spell right underneath, which is just a little bit darker. Not so much that it's going to make this smoky or anything, but I just kind of wanna use a little bit of that on the lash line, just a little bit. Like, I'm gonna have to really zoom in for y'all to see this. I can see it, and it serves the purpose of dimension, but it's not something that's going to be very evident. I had someone comment on, I've been getting some great comments lately, and I'm being very sarcastic. But I had someone comment recently saying, I love your channel, but man, all your looks are exactly the same. And I thought to myself, that doesn't really make much sense, because if you don't like that my looks are exactly the same, then you don't love my channel. But here's the thing. I am not gonna be the creator that comes on and does these wacky eye looks and then goes and washes them off and puts something on that I will actually leave the house in. I show you what I will leave the house in because, well, it's my channel and this is how I do my makeup. And I feel like that is just more relatable and more genuine and more realistic, because most of us don't spend 45 minutes on our eye makeup and then leave the house. There's only so many things you can do with eyeshadow other than changing up the colors that you use. So if you feel like I do the same looks, which I do often, repeat looks, change up colors and palettes and talk about formulations, I totally get it, but I'm probably not gonna change. So I agree that this is kind of like other looks that I've done, but it's definitely not the same color. I actually love these colors. I'm gonna take that same spell on that same number 3, put a little bit under the eyes, and then I'm gonna take my Refer number 13 mini and go in with Cozy, that first shade that we used, and kind of buff that out a little bit. For mascara, which I did off camera, I used my Thrive Cosmetics Liquid Lash Extensions in the shade Margot, which is purple, but it doesn't look overly purple. But I thought, you know what? I have an open purple mascara that I like. Why would I not use it with this look? And I have been using the Thrive mascaras a lot this month. I talked about that in my video last week where I talked about my favorite mascaras. While I'm on that subject, I'll go ahead and let you know a fail for a mascara that I just tried yesterday. And it's only a fail for one reason. I have never tried this Maybelline Lash Sensational Sky High Mascara. My 15-year-old loves this mascara and she always, you know, repurchases it, but I had never tried it. I bought it in the shade brown because I love a brown mascara. Opened it yesterday. I really liked how my lashes looked. They were more long, like it was more lengthening than it was volumizing, but I still liked it. However, this was an utter nightmare to remove. Really, really hard to remove. I mean, I used my cellar water, I used my eye makeup remover, and I still woke up with mascara on my lashes. For that reason, this is a fail for me because it is important to me how easy a mascara is to take off, not only how good it looks during the day. I'm sad because I know a lot of people love that, but for me, it just did not work. For lips, the majority of the month, I used my City Lips Plumping Lip Gloss from City Beauty. I pulled this one out to use today. This is in Pink Nude, which is exactly what it says, a pink nude. If you go back and look at my videos, I pretty much have this on in all of them. There was a video last week I did where I had on my Lawless Forget the Filler Lip Plumping Line Smoothing Gloss. Apparently it was a lip plumping month for me. In the shade Nudie, which is obviously a favorite of mine. Got another comment about how I need to wear color on my lips, how my pale lips wash me out. I'm not wearing color, y'all. I mean, I might for like a video every once in a while to show some lip swatches or something, but it's not what I love. And I'm not gonna go and purchase things that I don't love just for the sake of the video. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but I love my nude lips. And this is such a pretty color within the Lawless line in Nudie. But I'm gonna use this one today. I've never used this color, so I don't know how it's gonna work out, but I thought with the look, it only makes sense. And it is the Lavender Sorbet from Lawless, which is a very pretty pinky purple. So let's see how this works. Yeah, definitely not something to be scared of thinking it's gonna be like straight purple, because it's definitely more of that pinky purple. And I like it. So that is kind of my face of the month for March. I will talk about a couple of perfumes. This one I have on today, not one that I have used all month because I really didn't have a favorite all month. Although probably my favorite, well, not probably, my favorite launch is definitely the Tuberose Astral from Maison Crivelli. Oh, whew, so good. But I did mix it up because I'm getting more of my spring perfumes out. So today I have on Lila Lou by Rosie Jane, a very beautiful green pear fragrance, very appropriate for spring. And then Beauty Counter just launched fragrances yesterday, I think. And this is the Discovery set that you can get. A friend of mine sent this to me. I had already had Miles Away and Sunspill because they did that in their holiday launch and I purchased those to try them out. I love Miles Away. Sunspill is a little too citrus for me. I really like Miles Away if you want like another green type scent. But Second Skin and Hyper Rose are my favorite. Hyper Rose being one of my favorites. Are you kidding me? It's not overly rosy. There's something really special about this. They are more of like what they're, obviously it's Beauty Counter, so they're marketing it as like a clean fragrance. I like it because I like the scent. It's not super long lasting, but I don't mind that because I really appreciate how they smell. And I have been wearing those two to the gym all week this week, and I really like them because they're not overly offensive. Okay, that wraps it up. I will have everything I used and talked about down in the description box below. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know what your favorite products were for the month of March. Yes, y'all, it's April. Yeah, March. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure and like and subscribe before you leave so you don't miss out on any future videos. And I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day.